Hello, everybody. It's me, her high income, back again. This time with a unusual episode. Just to recap, my name is Millie. I'm 47 years old, never married, no kids, and I make what I would consider a high income of about 200,000 a year. I say it's high income because it's twice the median income, not because I think I'm really balling or anything. So, I've mentioned in my first video that I had been through some financial hardships prior to getting my business together and actually starting to make this high income that I struggled to reach, and that I had been through lean times and really hard financial times. And I thought for this video we'd go back to 2018, in August of 2018, which was the last month where things were dark as they can be. After this month, everything started picking up higher and higher and higher until I got to where I am now. But for 2000, well, actually, I don't know how long this had gone on, but at this time, me and my mother, who I take care of, were really struggling. And I wanted to go through what I was dealing with at that time. And starting out, as you recall, I wrote a book, and this is, what I was getting per month for that book way back in 2018. And I was starting to build up my business, but it was nowhere what I needed it to be. So all in all, I was making about, 2,100 per month. Um, not not that great. There was nothing I could put in savings. I had to save for my taxes because I didn't want to mess with that. Um, that's just not something you want to screw around with. So I made sure to save for that, but that was, money I had to pay. On the first, I was supposed to pay for the trailer, a camper trailer, something we towed behind our car that I was living in. If you heard my stomach just now, I apologize. I'm dieting, so it's very grumbly. Um, the trailer, like I said, it was a 28-foot travel trailer that we towed behind a car, and it was new. I bought it because I needed someplace to live, and I could not pay it. It was about $450 a month, and I did not have it. Even if I hadn't paid my taxes, I still would not have had enough money. Um, so I just didn't pay it, and just hoped that I would um, get better financially before they came for it, because that's where we were living, and without it, we would have been homeless. The trailer was on um, a small parcel of land that we bought for $1,200, and it was in a community that gave us hookups, which we had to pay for, but it was just a way to live very, very cheaply when I didn't have money. Um, I have always had bad health, so I can't go without health insurance because I'll die. I'm on a lot of very expensive medications. Um, I have a lot of serious problems, so there's just no going without health insurance. I might have to re record this if my stomach rumblings have gotten too loud. Um, we had a car, and it was $300 a month, and I paid it because uh, The car was much easier to repossess than the trailer, and it was cheaper also. I had a newsletter for my business. Car insurance was $120 a month. I was way out in the desert in the country in the middle of nowhere. That's why I was able to get a piece of land so cheap and um, live as cheaply as possible. So I had to get satellite internet, which was terrible because it's only 20 gigs a month, and it's really hard to start an internet business when you are limited by 20 gigs a month. But I didn't really have many options. My cell phone was 35, and I used that as backup internet. I think I had 5 gigs on that plan. Slack, yeah, I always went into this, but I like to pretend I had Slack. Other I had to budget for because, I had um, co-pays and bills related to doctor's appointments. The electric was almost $200 a month because it was in the desert and we had to keep the air conditioning going all the time in the trailer, and it just was crazy expensive, but we couldn't live without it. It was insanely hot. We were close to Death Valley. It was just really hot. Not exactly the place where no one would ever want to live to be able to be affordable. And I say HOA, but like I said, I paid about over 1,000 for a little piece of land, and it was in a community, and this was basically my water bill and community dues or what have you. And 400 for food might seem like a lot in 2018, but we were in the desert. There was no good grocery stores. Everything was just really expensive, and that's the lowest I could get it down to. And gas was one trip to the supermarket in a city, like a 90-minute drive one way, to get a month worth of food and come back, and that was it. And that leaves me with negative $1.56. So that was my life in 2018. Obviously, I'm doing a lot better now. It took an insane amount of struggle and living in horrible situations. And my mother is a very upbeat person. She's happy anywhere, but she admitted to me that she was so depressed living in that desert, that every time that we would go to the grocery store, her spirit would lift just to get away from there because it was such a dumpy, horrible place. And I feel terrible that I put her through that. So I'm doing my best to make it up to her now. I think that'll do it for this video. Thanks everybody who listened, and next month I will do the January budget.